Hey, Lord J here reading today, and I know that I am very blessed to be able to be doing this on this beautiful day. And I saw a message of our Austrian brothers and sisters who are fearing what comes on January 1st based on what the new chancellor is suggesting will occur for those with a certain private medical status. This is important because I have misspoke, as we so often do, and I want to clarify the implications of this misspeaking. I said the chancellor. There is no chancellor. That is an act. An actor fills that role. An actor doesn't fill that role. A man acting as an actor fills that role. The man acting as Chancellor of the country of Austria must be put on notice by men and women standing in their private capacity with all common law rights reserved. In order to do this, claims must be made. If you put forward a claim to say you are the man or woman in your private capacity with all common law rights reserved, you are no longer determined or governed by your status. Standing and status are different. A personage is a status. That is how we determine our worth or class in this world, because that is what we have been conditioned to do. Our standing is what we do with 2 legs and feet that allow us to stand as men and women and beat the enemy, which is common. We must actually take our proper standing in the private by removing our public status, by no longer sharing private medical information in the public because we feel forced to, coerced to. It is not necessary if we actually maintain our proper standing as men and women in our private capacity. And in order to do that, we must make a claim, because once we have made a claim and given proper time for the opposition or men and women acting in the roles of power that have power because we give them ours, time to reply and rebut the claim that we made. And if they do not, then we have a higher status. No, then we have a higher claim. We have a higher standing, because we stand on our claims, if done lawfully. And this is what the people of Austria must do. The people of Australia, all of the places in this world that feel fearful as to what a man or woman acting in a position of power, a position of apparent power, can do. No one can do anything to us unless we consent. The con was sent. Did you accept? Your person is a status. You, the man or woman, have standing. There is a big distinction that we need to get clear on, and then we must make our claims, and we must send them lawfully ahead of time, so that when we attend the court of law, it is not the first time we make a claim, because when we make our claim in the court of law, we have no standing, because we have nothing to stand on. By no thing, I mean no claim to stand on. If we make our claims ahead of time, ahead, that is what a man or woman has. Time is an illusion. Our power position is in the now always, the new orderly world that we have an opportunity to now create, because we take our power back from all of the places, statuses that we used to give it to, and claim it for ourselves to stand responsibly, able to respond fully in this present now moment, which is the only one that ever happens. That is how we stand in honor. There is so much more that I could say, but I really wanted to make this message today to say that to those who are fearful of what the men and women acting in positions of power in Austria specifically, and other countries too, you must correct your status to actually stand, So you must correct your proper standing, not status. My apologies. It's a lot to wrap our heads around, to say that status and standing is different. That's the main message of what I intended to share with you today. And from there, I say it is time for us to correct our proper standing, to be as men and women in our private capacity with all rights reserved. And any man or woman acting in a position of public power, they will be held to account in their private capacity if we make claims ahead of time, before we have been fully trespassed on, as I heard the message this morning about the fears of January 1st. Correct your standing so that you are not seen to be a surety for your status, medical or otherwise, your person included, which is the interface the government and corporations use to engage with men and women. Correct your proper standing to be a man or woman in your private capacity with all rights reserved at all times, and then call the men and women acting in these positions, hold them liable in their personal capacity, their private capacity. Person all. Let's take the persons all out of it and make it about men and women, because that is who are the ones calling the shots, pun intended, and that is who will pay personally for the damages, because that is what liability is, not the lie with an extra E, liability, that the public sphere would have us play with. Let us get back to what we always were, underneath of all of that, which is men and women. I hope this serves, and I would love to know if you are willing to take a stand. Let us have a meeting where we can get the information to you as to how to correct your proper standing, how to put those men and women acting in positions, which is why the Chancellor, as mentioned in the video, changes so often. Men and women don't want the liability. They understand the karmic implications and the physical ones for their choice. I am shaking because my hand has been out for 7.5 minutes. But the crazy thing is that nothing is heavy until we hold it for a really long time. And this lie has been held for far too long already, so let us correct it by correcting our status. No, by correcting our standing to be what we truly are, always were, and only felt like we needed to become more because of the conditioning that we have all been subject to. And let us stop being subjects and instead become the ones that are leading our own lives responsibly, able to respond fully. Namaste. Laura J. Toodaloo.